This is John for MTG Nexus here, finishing up our current league with Temur Uro Reclamation. This is a control deck based around cards Uro, Titan Nature's Wrath, Wilderness Reclamation, and Field of the Dead pretty much. You're utilizing Wilderness Reclamation to get ahead on mana whenever you happen to draw it, and then using cards like Fact or Fiction and Cryptic Command to kind of develop an overwhelming advantage and just kind of kill your opponent arbitrarily with either Field of the Dead or Uro returns. Beyond that, you have early interaction in the forms of Lightning Bolt and Remand. You also have Growth Spiral to hold up in addition to your Remands. Running 6 to rebuy fetch lands or lands your opponents might destroy. Several copies of Force of Negation, kind of an important counterspell in a lot of matchups. 1 copy of Archmage's Charm in addition to 3 copies of Cryptic Command. And then finally 1 copy of Nexus of Fate to kind of start looping once you're getting into the point where you're starting to get ahead. Whole bunch of lands, obviously, as you're trying to trigger Field of the Dead, which requires 7 different lands in play. And then Ketria Triumph, Lily Sandbar as things that allow you to cycle in conjunction with your Run-In 6, get card advantage going there. 1 copy of Blaststone and Castle Vantress as additional ways to garner card advantage or selection. Field of Ruin as a nice way to answer things like Tron and such, although you do only have 1 and 1 on the board, so that's not extremely reliable. Sideboard, this sideboard's kind of a whole bunch of all over the place. 1 copy of Field of Ruin for the field mirrors, as well as Tron. 1 copy of Soul Guide Lantern for any type of graveyard shenanigans, whether it be Dredge, Oops All Spells, the Mirror Match, decent against other Uro decks, etc. 1 copy of Ceremonious Rejection for any type of colorless decks, whether you be looking at Oops All Spells, Tron, E-Tron, etc. 1 copy of Veil of Summer for mirror matches and any type of black-based mid-range deck. 3 copies of Ether Gust for any type of red or green-based decks, mainly Prowess. 1 copy of a Braid, pretty decent as another removal spell, as well as decent at things like Chalice and such. 1 copy of Cleansing Wildfire, fairly decent against Tron, decent against, it's okay against the mirror, etc. Decent against Amulet as another out. Mystical Dispute for mirror matches, Ashiok Dreamrender, decent mirror matches, graveyard-based matchups, as well as fairly decent against Amulet and okay against Tron. Fire Spout against aggressive decks. 1 copy of Shark Typhoon when you need additional threat in mirror matches and such. And another copy of Engineer Explosives as a pseudo sweeper or just a catch-all against a lot of decks. Pretty decent against Shadow in particular. That said, we have 3 matches to finish up tonight. And then this will probably be the last time that I play Temur Uro for a little bit, as we'll probably move on to another deck. But I've mainly been streaming these in the mornings, so see how that goes. So far, I think we went 3-2 in the first league, 1-1 so far in this league. I'm 3-1 against non-mirror matches and 0-2 against mirror matches. So, or no, 4-1 against non-mirror matches and 0-2 against mirror matches. It happens. So. Sure, opponent, good luck. It's not super exciting, but we do have turn 2 Growth Spiral and a turn 3 Wilderness Wreck. You're on the draw, which is unfortunate. Alright. Well, that was a kind of a fortunate draw. Does kind of screw up our mana situation a little bit, though. Guess I have to get Stomping Ground so we can just bolt this now. Don't know if this is Infect or Alright, blue-green, I have no idea. Really sucks that both of our... Do I just jam here? Feels really bad to walk into counter magic. Our opponent doesn't seem to be doing a whole lot else, so it feels like they have counter magic in their deck. Yeah, Cuddle's whatever. So awkwardly, I can't even play running 6 here. Just how our mana is set up. Okay. That seems extremely dumb on my opponent's part. Alright, so... Yep, there's the Codal. Okay, do you have a second counter spell to go with this? Nope, you just have a concession. Alright. So, what on earth is our opponent playing? Alright, so... a weird deck. Temur Bant Stoneblade, perhaps? No. I figure they're just Bant Midrange with some type of whatchamacallit package. Probably that. Probably Veil of Summer. Probably Soul Guide Lantern. Ether Gusts could be okay. Ashiok could be decent. Shark Typhoon could be okay. Cards are nonsense in this kind of matchup. Honestly, most of our stuff feels pretty good. Alright, try it like that. Seems reasonable. Turn 1 Noble Hierarch again. Sure. I mean, this is definitely a way to get ahead on mana, but I don't know what's the point of having Noble Hierarch in your... We about to get to Ferried on turn 2? Indeed we are. Delightful. This is a really freaking annoying card to play against. So we just Uro here. Okay, so they're definitely a heavier creature-based deck. Pass the turn here. We cycle Shark Typhoon here. Have a path to exile. Just moving on. That's really annoying. Alright, so definitely want all of our bolt effects and the braids. Because otherwise that's going to get obnoxious real quick. Man feels pretty bad in this kind of a spot. Gust, Uro, Cleansing Wildfire, Engineered Explosives makes more sense now. Ashiok a little bit less. Though it is somewhat nice to have some answers to Planeswalkers. Not Planeswalkers, to alright. Yeah, we got Bolt, we got Fire Spout, a couple Factor Fictions. Yep, Dork's dying because it has to. Our opponent just jams tough, we're in some trouble. Our Mage's Charm isn't terrible here. Do we have a Codal or something? Nope. I don't care if this gets countered or quellered or any of that nonsense. Probably taking Field of the Dead almost regardless of what our opponent does. Just pass here. Double Remand good enough to jam? Probably not. Don't care about Fire Spell because I already have it. Back to Fact or Fiction here. Guess they get the Field of Ruin that away, which is kind of annoying, but also takes up a bunch of their mana. Do you have another Veil of Summer? My sanctuary back here. Ugh. Yeah, Gust is completely irrelevant here. Yep, don't care about Noble Hierarch. Well, there's a Roman 6. That should lock up the game. Alright, nice. So I'm not really sure like what all was going on with our opponent. If they just had like if they were like a Stoneblade deck without Stoneblade, just like Codals and whatchamacallits, Codals and Quellers and such. Like we saw Uro out of them game 1, but then didn't see it again game 2 or game 3. Seems interesting, a little late on lands, but I still think we keep it. Mirror match. Yay! By yay, I mean these are the matches I always lose. That's just breeding pool, which is interesting. Oh, Thopter Foundry, sure. What's up, War Dog? How you doing, man? Yeah, Emery's fine. It's just going to get bolted. Ah, gotcha. So you might possibly sort of kind of maybe bombed? Is that what I'm getting out of that? Wow. How much man? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Is this what they say by doing it? Oh dear. Oh. Just bomb. Engineered explosive seems good. That seems good. Mystical dispute seems good. Veil of Summer seems sword maybe. Not sure if this is a rejection matchup. Obviously it's not an Ether Guest matchup. Cut one of those. Cut Nexus. Opponent is a Teferi deck, so we got to be mindful of that. Braid. Shiva Bolt. Well, Braid's less mana efficient, but also answers Thopter Foundry. Maybe 1/5. I'm probably gonna do a mix, honestly. A lot of it depends on where I get my sleep schedule at. I wanted to do it this morning, but my sleep schedule was way off, so streaming tonight. So I'm probably gonna be bouncing between like mid-morning and later night stuff. Just wherever I can work things in with my work and sleep schedules. Alright, really awkward mana. I think this is a mulligan. Also awkward mana, but this is a keep. What are we putting back here? Let me put back one of the copies of Remand. Yeah, opponent's definitely an Urza deck, probably. Excuse me. Well, it's not really keeping you guys on your toes. It's more, I'm trying to get back in the habit of streaming more often and I don't know when all I'm going to work it in, so... Alright, opponent's got a land. I think we just play basic island here. Like, we still want to draw land, so thinning the deck doesn't really count. Mystical Dispute can tag an Emery, which might be relevant this turn. I don't think I care about Sword. Sword's kind of whatever, honestly. Land? Land, please. Like, obviously it feeds into Metallic Rebuke, but Feel the Dead in play. We're for 2. Oh. So I F6 through my turn, so they got me. Cool. That was dumb. Suppose I deserve that. I think we can safely concede. I should have won that game, but I screwed up. Yep, don't F6 through your turn when you're playing counter magic. Especially when your opponent's a war deck. Alright. This hand is something. It's possible I'm supposed to play Soul God Lantern there. Just to see whatever card we're drawing this turn, which is kind of whatever. Alright, come on, just let me fetch. There you go. Sure. Let's use that draw on the braid. I think I can F6 through this turn. Well, kind of obnoxious, but whatever. It's 2 cards on top of their library. Alright. Clearly trying to hold up Metallic Rebuke. Guess they could work for 0, but that's also kind of whatever. Problem is, if we go for this Factor Fiction, I guess we can Sanctuary it back, so it's not quite as big a deal. Oh, just Snap Resolves, sure. Okay. Yeah, that's fine this time. Yeah, I don't remotely care about the sword. Alright, start to get zombies here. Yeah, that's fine. Alright. Sure. Love to see an Uro here, probably. Fortification's not terrible either. Probably bring back Factor Fiction. Remand. much do I care about this run? Okay. Feels like we're going to get Metallic rebuked, but not much we can do about this. Mystical disputed. Okay. Is there any reason to main phase this? It's an infinite freaking combo, isn't it? Oh, for crying out loud. Really? Oh, that was fun. I punted an away game too, so I guess I kind of deserve that. Looks like our opponent has a companion. Yep, their Urza deck. Can't keep this hand. I guess we keep this hand, put back Nexus, and one remand, I guess. Probably up against the Thoughtseize deck. Burn. Yeah, this feels like a... Oh no, this is... Is this burn? We're basically dead here. I think I can safely go ahead and go to 10 here and like it. I don't even know what keeps us alive here. Really need an Uro in their hand to somehow have freaking... Alright. So at least we know what we're up against. Fire Spout seems okay. Engineer Explosive seems okay. Ether Gusts seem reasonable. Braid seems alright. Nexus of Fate's kind of nonsense. Remand's probably okay on the play. At least in some number. Sure. Gives away information if our opponent has stuff, but it's kind of whatever. Can't really remand a bauble now, can we? Wow. Front end 6. Yeah, that's not particularly good here. Not that we have anything else to play, but... So basically we're dead. No, our opponent has Boros Charm in hand. Alright, that was really anticlimactic. Alright, so we should have been 3-2 that league. I screwed up game 2 against the Bant Thopter Sword combo, and they set up the Thopter Sword to win at 1 life. Game 3, fortunately, happens. And I feel like this deck isn't particularly well set up to handle burn at the moment with how it's set up. Now, I could have more aggressively mulliganed towards Uro or such, and maybe that's what I was supposed to do there. Beyond that, yeah, I mean, the deck's fun. Don't get me wrong. I don't think this is my preferred style of Uro deck. You know, it is a little bit clunky in what it's trying to execute compared to even some of the other versions. You're a little bit softer to aggro because you only have the 4 removal spells in the main deck. You know, we kind of pounded most of the mid-range decks we faced. Lost to Burn, lost to Tron. Kind of the stuff I figure this style of deck would lose to. Should have beaten the Thopter Sword Foundry combo deck. Beat some type of Bant Midrange deck. We beat a couple of Rakdos and Mardu decks. We beat Death and Taxes. So, yeah, once again, you know, should have been 2 3-2s, but, you know, I F6 through a key turn, which was kind of dumb on my part when I have Remand and Mystical Dispute in my hand against a War of Invention deck. Beyond that, I mean, it's an interesting deck to learn the nuances of. But just wanted to finish up this league tonight. You know, people complain about the Uro decks, but they do have weaknesses to attack. You know, they do have a lot of great cards. They're in a very expensive deck, obviously. But their mana base is awkward as heck. And, you know, like, just different decks at different points can attack it. And I guess if you're that worried about the Uro deck, you just need to have the right deck at the right time. And I know that people really just don't like it when, you know, their deck isn't on top. And I'm sorry, these decks are very powerful, don't get me wrong, but they're not unbeatable. They're not Hogak, they're not Eldrazi from Eldrazi winner. They're not even the Bant decks with Arkham's Astrolabe. You know, in some ways the deck's better, don't get me wrong, but Arkham's Astrolabe, you know, took away the deck's weakness to Blood Moon. And allowed them to play Icefang Coatl, so they could play Path and Coatl, and there's your removal spells. You know, this version has to balance the number of removal spells, the amount of force of negations, all that, you know, as well as making the mana work. So, do I think it's still one of the best archetypes in the format? Absolutely. Do I think it doesn't have its weaknesses? No, it definitely has its weaknesses. So, anywho, that's going to be it for tonight. I just wanted to finish up this league and get these cards returned to Mana Traders. I want to thank everybody for hanging out tonight. Next stream will probably be Tuesday morning. because I have a doctor's appointment Monday morning, so I'm unlikely to stream tomorrow night or Monday morning. So I think the next stream will be Tuesday morning. So we'll see how that goes. And beyond that, I want to thank everybody for hanging out. This has been John for MTG Nexus. And if you like this kind of modern content, please consider checking out our YouTube channel. The link is down below. And if you're new to the channel, please consider giving us a follow.